Universal Studios Florida is one of the most visited theme parks in the world. Universal has consistently attracted people to the park year after year through a blend of exceptional theming and thrilling attractions. The park has long competed with Walt Disney World for attention, only a short 11-minute drive away. However, it has definitely found its niche and has a lot of great qualities which separate it from the rest. In this video, we count down the top 5 mistakes people make on their trip to Universal Studios Florida. Make sure you try to avoid these common pitfalls so that you can have the best time possible. Number 5. Not using the single riders line. Once you understand the benefits of the single riders line, you will never look back. A lot of people who attend the parks in groups and have never availed of single riders lines before can be a little hesitant at first. Mainly because being a single rider may seem less exciting than riding with friends or family. For some people, this may be true, but for the majority, it really doesn't take anything away from your enjoyment of the attraction itself. The main benefit of using single riders lines is that it can greatly reduce the amount of time you spend standing in line, therefore giving you more time to actually enjoy the park. We understand that some people will prefer that shared experience of riding with their groups. However, if this is you, one pro tip we have is to ride the attraction once with your group and then every other time after that, avail of the single riders line. Number 4. Bringing a large bag into the park. Unlike Walt Disney World, Universal parks require you to store your belongings in lockers before riding on a number of attractions. One good thing to note is that these lockers are free. However, in order to deal with the volume needed, they are not built to fit anything bigger than a standard backpack. One of the top mistakes people make in Universal Studios is bringing in a large bag or multiple bags. This can lead to a frustrating experience of trying to squeeze your bag into a compartment that's just too small. In order to avoid this, we would recommend that everyone brings a small bag each, so that if anyone does need to bring anything extra, this can be spread out among the group to avoid any issues with the locker. Number 3. Not researching where to eat in advance. We don't think it's any secret that the main pulling factor for people visiting the park is not its cuisine. Far from it actually. However, it is possible to have a decent meal inside the park if you make sure to plan in advance. Like most other parks, there is a selection of quick service and table service restaurants. If quick service is your thing, then we would recommend that you try out Fast Food Boulevard in Springfield, which is essentially a food court with a number of different options. However, if you do have the time and the budget, we would recommend having at least one sit-down meal at Lombard's Seafood Grill located in San Francisco. To help with your planning, we would say to download the Universal Orlando Resort app. This will give you a chance to see what's available and make sure you aren't left feeling hungry at the end of the day. Number 2. Going to Diagon Alley as soon as you enter the park. Okay, it's no secret that most people's number one thing to do when visiting Universal Studios Florida is to go to Diagon Alley. Harry Potter itself is one of the biggest franchises in the world, and since Diagon Alley opened in 2014, it has continually attracted a huge number of people every day. While this definitely is a must-do on your visit to the park, crowds do tend to be bigger in the morning due to everyone rushing there first. Therefore, we would recommend saving this land to later in the day when the volume is reduced a little. This will give you more time to ride other attractions in the park and also allow you to get a more relaxed look at the area itself without having to stand in line for hours or push past people for a glimpse of all the different shops and places to see. Number 1. Buying an express pass without knowing if the park is busy. Number 1 on our list of mistakes people make in Universal Studios Florida is prematurely buying an express pass. Express passes can be very useful for avoiding big lines and giving you more time in the park if the park is actually busy. However, in a lot of cases, they are unnecessary. Essentially, the Express Pass allows you to join a special queue, which is generally shorter than the main queue. From the outset, this purchase seems like a no-brainer when visiting the park, and many people purchase these tickets in advance. However, there can be occasions when the park is not that busy, meaning normal wait times aren't too long, and in this case an express pass can seem a little worthless, which can be frustrating as they generally start at $69.99 per person. Based on this, we would recommend seeing if the park is actually busy before making the purchase. It's probably not well publicised, but it is possible to buy express passes in the park itself, as well as from a number of reps in the car park. Therefore, what you should do in order to not waste your money is go into the park, get a feel for how many people are there, and if you still think it's worth investing, then by all means go ahead, as it can definitely add some value to your day if it's needed. Well, that concludes our list. Are there any other tips that you would recommend? Leave a comment below and don't forget to subscribe for new weekly content.